Well, what do you say, Richard? Should we get going?
I think we always like to say, what is it time for? I think it's a time to
All
starting.
right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our presence practice community. As a reminder, our purpose is to establish the practice of presence as a reliable, calming resource for increasing possibilities in our ability to contribute authentically. Our theme this week is the idea of noticing my reactivity, I can create more choices for action. And as a reminder, the way we do this, it's these 15-minute webinars. If you are here live, great. If you can't be with us live every time, these are recorded, and every participant will get an email with that recording link, so they'll be in an archive that you can reference in the future. And they happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern, and it's going to go on through the rest of April.
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah.
Well, we like to say that we're always present. And the question is, what are we present to? So part of us in these practices will be focusing on what are we present to. And Roger was talking about base camp, coming back to base camp on Wednesday. And we're going to extend and increase that exploration. We're going to talk about base camp as a way of coming home. Thinking our current world right now, the dependable external structures clearly are undergoing major change and reform. And where is it that we can find our place to settle? So that instead of living a more reactive life, we can actually be responsive and purposeful. And what we know is, a friend of mine likes to say, happy body, happy mind. So part of what we want to do is really attend to our bodies. I don't know about you guys, but boy, I've spent hours in front of Zoom screens. And by the end of the day, I feel like a sardine that's been crammed into a sardine can. So today we're going to do some movement to help us actually engage with the intelligence of our body, 3 billion years of intelligence, with some simple practices and some ideas of how we can keep focusing our minds when they might get agitated and take us on a wild ride. So I'm going to recommend that we do this standing. Now, for whatever reason you are unable to do it standing, I think you can make the adaptation to the movements. So I'm going to be stepping back here, and Roger will be doing the same. He'll be off at a side angle to help you see what the movements look like.
And Richard, I might add that I'm wearing socks, so if you can kick off your shoes, you'll feel the ground a little bit better. If you can't, that's fine too.
Great. Yeah, thanks. So the first thing to do is to really be where we are. I love this about presence practice. We start where we are. So right now, feeling your feet on the ground. Take your feet about shoulder width apart. If they're too close together, we lose stability. And if they're too far apart, we lose mobility and flexibility. So my feet are about shoulder width apart. My shoulders are rolled back and down. There's a tendency I find during the day just to have the shoulders creep up, and think about the muscular tension that I'm using compared to if I relax. There's also a tendency when I have a low-grade anxiety to hold my muscles tight, and often I'll tighten in my legs. If I'm sitting on a chair, I can also be tight in my butt muscles. So right now, bend your knees slightly so there's a little bit of like a spring feeling in your knees. My spine is straight, so there are two forces. Gravity is always there. So I'm feeling myself at home on the earth. And at the same time, what makes us human beings is our verticality. So now I extend and lift up as if someone were lifting me up by the crown of my head. Not rigid, but extended spine and weight going down. And I'll notice that if I get quiet, my breathing begins to change. Under stress, our breathing is shallow and tends to go up. So for right now, place your thumb on your belly button, the palm of your hand on your belly. It's your center point, your physical center point. It's also where the breath, if we breathe fully, will come all the way down. So right now, just using your hands as a feedback mechanism, notice the rise and fall with the rhythm of your breath. And at the same time, on each exhalation, let your weight drop into your feet, and the spine is straightened and the shoulders are rolled back and down. If you want to close your eyes, feel free to do that. Otherwise, have the eyes relaxed, preferably having your chin parallel to the ground. And then, in a moment, when you feel ready, just let your hand drop down to the side. And notice your breathing. The beautiful thing about breath is that it happens unconsciously and we can consciously affect it. So for right now, we're just noticing the quality of our breath. What else can I relax in my body? We talk about a vertical plane, the dignity of how we move through life. Open, available, and present. There's the width. So just become aware of the width, side to side. This is our impact in society, how we show up. Are we including all of ourselves? And then there's the front and back. And you might want to lean a little forward. I know Roger did this on Wednesday, and a little backward to find that sweet spot where there's an effortlessness. And we think about the back, all of those people that have stood behind us, our families, our lineage, our teachers. So take a moment and think of someone who you would like to have your back right now. Just visualize and feel that person or people, series of people supporting you. And we open up the chest. Arms to the side and relax. Facing forward, being aware, being open. What can I receive? How open am I? And I stand in the center of the past and the possibility of the future. And my breath reminds me that I'm vital and alive. Take a moment and allow yourself to feel that stillness. I wonder how our lives might be different if we were still and let life move toward us. What we might discover. So from this place of being in a base camp, emotionally, physically, and cognitively, we'll do a few movements. Again, the movements are not like going to a yoga class or working out, although you could do it in that way. I'd like you to think of moving at the speed of your awareness. So don't move in any way that you lose contact with your awareness and sensations. So we just begin to turn to one side and then turning to the other side. Do that a few times. Moving to the maximum point of your range of movement and then to the other side without forcing the movement. And then let the head come to forward looking, tilting your head towards one side. Take your arm up to the side that your head is tilted toward, and then gently with the weight of your arm, see what happens to the stretch on the other side of your body. Now, if you allow the weight or actually walk the opposite arm down, you'll find the stretch increases. But without muscular force, see if you can be so aware of as you breathe in, you'll feel the stretch increase. And as you exhale, you can relax just millimeters into the movement. And now on an inhalation, lift on up. And we'll do to the other side as refreshed as we did it to the first side. See if you can be curious and discover more sensations. The more stressful we are, the more we subdue our capacity to feel. So we're increasing our capacity to feel. Again, walking the opposite side, arm that's hanging down. Nice, and then we'll come on up. And then clasping your hands behind your head, slowly just increase the stretch in the neck muscles. And then breathing in, lift on up. Take the arms down, shake that loose. We'll build on this each day that we do the presencing practice, but for now we'll do a little energizing movement. And the movement's going to be bending in your knees, swing your arm once, alternate which arm comes to the top, 2, and then we'll pat on the chest to make a sound. All right, let's do several of these together, and 1 and 2 and now the more loudness you can make, it means the more air you're breathing out. So let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And then just to complete with a little bit of an energizer, we're going to bounce on the heels and loosen the arms and the shoulders and make a sound. And then arms up, and you can go, scare the kids, the dogs, the cats. And just take a moment to come back to base camp. Feel your feet, roll the shoulders back and down. If you want to close the eyes for a moment. Mostly what I'd like you to do is be aware of the sensations and how you've changed the quality of life force moving through your body. Settling in the breath. I'm feeling a buzzing feeling, vibrations, temperatures changed. Remember, this is always available to you, this place of stillness. As we make choices, instead of reacting, we can respond. So I think if you would like to stay standing, that's fine. I'm going to sit down and we'll close the morning presence practice. Maybe if you would put in the chat what you're noticing for yourself and about yourself. Roger, any comments as we're waiting for some of the chat comments to come in?
Yeah, thanks. That was really great. What I noticed for myself was when you first started the practice, I was really in my head. I mean, worries and different thoughts going through. Even I wonder how we'll do with the time today, and I kept trying to feel my body, and by the end, I was so grounded comparatively. So thanks for that, Richard.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone for joining. We will keep building and developing these practices. Please, if you have feedback for us or specific topics you would like us to cover, let us know. And again, I'll just state it. The theme with Roger on Wednesday was finding base camp. Today, we extended the idea of finding base camp as a place of home. Given how the world's changing, what can I count on? So I think for me, Roger, it's a wrap, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. Anything to come?
Thank you, Richard. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we hope to see you or be with you on Monday at noon Eastern. And if not, you'll get a recording.
Take care of each other and yourself.
Thank you.
Bye.